This is coffee number 5. I'm your host, Lara Schmoisman. Hey, hello, everyone. Welcome back to coffee number 5. I'm exhausted. I was traveling for hours yesterday, but I had this podcast, which I'm super excited about. And we're going to have a real conversation here. I brought my girl, my PR expert that I trust with my brand, also Robin. So welcome, Robin. I'm so excited that you're here with us today, Robin Doyle. And she has a bunch of experience. But today, Robin, you work in retail, you work for fashion, now you specialize in the beauty industry. And on top of that, now you, like me, you're able to see your business, your PR business from your other side because you have an e-com.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, first of all. I know you had reached out months ago and I was like, oh God, this is going to be a big deal. And I'm kind of need to work myself up here. So here I am 5 months later, finally said yes. So thank you again for having me. This is awesome. I'm very excited to be here. And we have, we've been, bumping into each other over the last couple of years just because we are in the same circles. So
absolutely.
It's
but also, I mean, we were able to have deep conversations about, like, we like to call it smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
And that it happens a lot in the industry and it happens a lot in marketing and PR. So I really would love to use this time and give people a little bit of our insight conversations.
Yeah, absolutely.
What we call smoke and mirrors. And also, because let's start with the concept that, to me, PR is part of marketing. Is part of all your marketing plan for your brand. You cannot, and right now there is a lot going on between PR because you need the link shares and you need an SEO and so many issues. So marketing and PR, they really interconnect.
Yeah, they definitely do. Just to back up a little, I've been in the PR business. I've the founder of Charmed PR, which is a boutique PR agency specializing in beauty brands. I've worked a lot over, like Laura said, with fashion and accessories, but primarily focused on beauty. And I've been doing it for about 18 years. Previously to that, I was in the editorial world and I wrote beauty articles and entertainment pieces. So for years, I was doing that work on the editorial side as a beauty editor. And so obviously with anything in all businesses, they change over time. And so I've been privy to see how this business has evolved in the last 2+ decades. And
it's so interesting to be able to see it from different points of view.
Yeah, I think so too, because, when you're doing PR, you're focusing on a very specific thing. And then I think a lot of people still don't understand. I mean, it's almost like a joke. People still don't get what PR is, even like amongst my group of publicist friends, we joke that our parents and our friends and family still don't understand what we do.
Okay, so let's start from the beginning. Yeah. What do you do? What's it?
I don't even know. No. Don't ask me. I'm not quite sure myself. So publicists are kind of like a liaison for brands in the media. And we kind of like are a champion. We stand on our soapboxes and we promote our clients to the media. We keep an eye out for all kinds of opportunities, not just editorial pieces, but broadcast opportunities. Also, we keep an eye out and we do connections for collaborations. It's a way to create brand awareness for your brand. And so like I said, over the years, it's changed a lot. When I first started, it was all about print magazines. And so it was getting features in publications like everything from Red Book to Marie Claire, Good Housekeeping, Better Homes and Gardens, New Beauty, 17, Teen Vogue, with all these there was so many magazines. And so I have to say it was like normal for me to get 5, 6, 7, 8 print placements a month for my clients. Beauty, accessories, fashion. As the years have gone on, it's changed. Obviously, there's no more print. There's very small. It's all online. It's all the advertising world shifted to affiliate world, and you have to become an expert in that world as a publicist to even play the game anymore. And then on top of it, there's obviously all the influencer stuff, and there's the social media aspects, and pay to play is almost like it's basically, expected at this point. And you have to become incredibly creative and figure out ways to get your clients press if they're a product trying to promote a product, because it's just not the same as it was. And a lot of brands don't necessarily understand that world because they don't come from it. And then why would they? They're doing other things.
One of the things that we normally talk with PR people, and they send me clients many times and say, well, they're not PR ready because they're not marketing ready.
Yes.
What means for a brand to be PR ready?
Okay, so this is really interesting. So I want to talk about for a brand to be PR ready. I've always said when I have brands coming to me interested in hiring me or asking me how I can help them, I I kind of listen to what they're doing, where they're at. And I always tell them, and I've always said this to everyone, no matter, what the client is, even if I really wanted them, that PR is truly the last piece of the puzzle for them to hire. A lot of people get excited. They're like, oh, I have a product. I'm going to create this brand. I'm going to get a publicist. Do you have marketing? Do you have your brand story? Do you have your website, your assets? Do you know, how you set yourself apart from your competition? Who's your target audience? What are your goals? Like who, what other brands out there are doing what you're doing? How are you different? There's so many things involved that you need to know as a business person when you're creating a business. And your publicist is, they should be asking you all these questions, and because they're going to need to know these answers when they're pitching you or they're putting you out there. Otherwise, they're not doing you any service. So
I always say also, what's your gray area you need to know as a publicist? What's your no? Where you don't want to go?
Yeah.
As a brand, and who you're not as a brand, because I've seen a lot of, in the desperation of a lot of publicists pitching to the wrong places.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, it's true. And it's hard, and I get it. And I'm on both sides of the page here, because I see that, writers, editors get upset because they're not being pitched properly. There's this playing field is so crowded. There's so many brands. There's so many more publicists now than there ever was. There's so many beauty brands out there, and there's less outlets. There's less people writing about this. There's not enough people to write the content, so they're getting inundated and they're getting frustrated. And I get it.
And on top of that, now there is this trend that anyone can be a publicist themselves. Take this course, take these classes online, and then you can not only be a publicist for yourself, also you can charge for this.
Yes. So so I find that to be incredibly interesting. And that's where I think we started talking about smoke and mirrors, because listen, I have been doing this work for 18 years. Did I start off in an agency? Did I go to school for communications? I was an English major. I was in the beauty industry. I was writing. I had my own hair accessories company when I was in 25. I knew that world of PR, having worked with publicists on the editorial side. And I kind of just tested the waters and fell into this. So did I set out to do this from a young age? No. However, I have the credo. I have the experience. A lot of these people just say, I'm going to be a publicist, or they say, I know how to get you this, that, and the other, and I'm going to charge you, you only have to pay, $9.99, or you come take my course, or you listen to my podcast, and I'll make it happen. I can tell you that, I laugh, and they're very convincing. A lot of these people, I have really good, smart, intelligent women coming to me, my good friends, that I'm always helping them with it however I can. what do you think of this? I think I'm going to sign up for this. I'm like, why don't, why, they're just very convincing. But at the end of the day, I've never heard of any like true amazing stories because these people aren't out there doing the work and they're not networking with the people that you need to be networking with.
Exactly. You're not doing your job as a company founder or a CEO of the company if you're trying to do your PR. Or if you're trying to do your Instagram, or if you're trying to do your website. You need to run your business.
You have to run your business, but you also have to be educating yourself on a continuing basis. Because let's say for me, I've been doing this for so long, but things are so different now and everybody's changing and this is moving and this is changing. I have to constantly learn and keep up with what's happening and what's new. So I'm, like just yesterday, I went and did a whole course on, brushing up on my affiliate knowledge because I want to make sure that I know what I'm doing because it has to be, I can't just tell a client this is what you need. I have to know how to do it. So as a business person, you're running a business, but you're also constantly having to keep up with the latest trends to, be the right, do the right stuff for your clients. So, I can't just, it'd be great to just tell you what to do, but like,
no, and also it's not,
do it.
PR is not magic. So there are a few things that I've been noticing lately also, that there is all these magazines because the online magazines, they lost a lot of money by people buying print magazines. So they create this opportunity also. Some of them call it, you are a contributor, you are a console, part of the console, but that's a pay opportunity. So it's not that you were featured in Forbes or Entrepreneur if you got someone who's a contributor who pays to be a contributor and then writes an article about you, and it's not a legit journalist.
Yeah. Listen, again, like I said, a lot of people that get into having businesses, they don't necessarily understand the back end. And again, like a lot of people that aren't even in this world might not even see it. So then they say, oh, she was featured in Forbes, or she got, she's got this, she's able to use this logo and she got, and featured in this magazine, or she was top 10 entrepreneurial women of 2024 from, it's a magazine that is created from somebody living in a basement in somewhere in the middle. Like there's so many of these things out there, or you got an award from X, Y, and Z. It costs you this much money. What's the award? Like you've never heard of it before. Like there's so many money grabs out there, and there's so, and like that's where the smoke and mirrors is. You just don't know what's legit. And so if you don't have somebody on your team that truly can vet all of these opportunities and say this is bullshit, this is money grab, don't believe this, then you're going to get screwed and you're going to be like,
a lot of those are look and sound very legit.
Yeah, they do. And let me tell you, because I do PR, I also have Beautyology, which is a marketplace. So I am a founder as well of a beauty marketplace. And so I get hit up all the time for these types of opportunities as well. And there can be very enticing too sometimes. And then I look and I realize that this is ridiculous. And, then you don't necessarily know if you aren't in this world.
I've seen a lot. This is something that I see going on a lot with founders, that they want to move the needle. They're so desperate to move the needle that they think that being featured here automatically, magically will transform into sales.
Yeah, that's a huge misnomer, I think, with PR in general, because there's no, you cannot equate ROI with PR. This has been a conversation I'm kind of sick of hearing, because it's always the same thing. It's like, it's more about brand awareness, and it's something that you have to, I don't know, what is it like though? When you see something, you have to see it like 12 times or 20 times before you even like pay attention to it or whatever. It keeps upping and upping, but like that's PR. It doesn't mean that it doesn't generate ROI. I have plenty of hits, media hits with clients, and they're like, oh my God, that was great. That really brought in the sales. I'm like, that's the best thing you can ever hear as a publicist. You're so happy, right? I'm always happy for every media win I get,
Yeah.
because each one feels like it's harder and harder. It's like giving birth to a child. Every freaking time you get one, like more now than it ever was. But when I get a client, they're like, oh my God, we got, all these orders. I'm like so happy. It's amazing. But it doesn't mean that that's always going to happen. And when clients are like, and I've had clients even recently going, I just don't understand, like, all the PR you've been doing, it hasn't generated any sales, and I just don't know why. And I'm like, you know what? I don't either. I mean, I do know, but you haven't done anything with it. You haven't up leveled it. I could get clients' names in Marie Claire, I can get them in, you name it. And like, they're saying, oh, it hasn't done anything for me. That's where
Because
the marketing can come in.
well, but
That's
because
where
it's
you might
not,
be able to come in and help the brand.
it's
You know
not
what I mean?
about, it's not about, one thing is the authority of the brand, but it doesn't mean that the authority will immediately affect performance. And that there is so much more going on. Like, you have to be willing as a brand owner to put a budget besides marketing, ads, and all that. But you're gonna have to give product away, and a lot. And
Oh yeah. If you think you're going to start a beauty brand and not give products away, then I would not even advise you to start a brand. I mean, you have to. But back to starting a business and being like serious about it, it takes money. It takes money. And unless you, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen, you get viral, you blow up, you're making something and you're selling it at a farmer's market, and somebody comes around and like, invest, I don't know, like things happen, but mostly it's like, you really have to have a lot of solid financial backing around you if you want to do it the right way, if you want to get it out to magazines, if you want the right marketing, the SEO, the website, I mean, there's so many elements involved. And I remember, talking with you, and we talked about like the circle of what it takes to have a business. And there's chunks of everything in marketing and this, that, and everything has a part of it. And PR is only one slice of it, really. It's not everything. And a lot of times brands don't get that. They think, oh, I'm going to get one press hit and I'm going to blow up.
Yeah, no, and it's not magic. It's always about creating a sustainable strategy. And when we're talking about sustainable, we're talking about something that you can maintain over time, because PR, marketing, everything we do needs consistency. And people need to see you that's why billboards still work, because you want to create that brand awareness. But people want to see it in this magazine or in that magazine. They need to see you consistently, and they're everywhere. What about awards? Because again, there are a lot of awards that they are pay-per-play, and there's so many.
Yeah, that's blown up in the last few years too, and it's kind of ridiculous. And yeah, people don't always understand. It's a business, just like anything. And again, not all of them charge, but a lot of them do charge. And it's a game, really. Some are great, obviously, like getting, I'm not gonna lie, like I had a client that recently got a best skincare Oprah Daily, right? And so that's a big deal for them. It's huge, and they should be. It's very exciting. They've taken it and they use it in all of their marketing, which is the right thing to do. I mean, you want to up level it. You want to lead with, you're a Oprah Daily award winning skincare brand. That makes people like, listen, oh my God, this is not just another whatever. It gives them credence. It gives them, they can brag about it, and it gives them street cred, like I said. And so stuff like that might not necessarily be pay to play, but there are all these other companies out there that know that people want these awards because it makes them look good, and they'll charge you. And I'm not going to, obviously I'm not going to say which ones, but like, yeah, they're exciting when you get all these awards, but at the end of the day, I don't know, like you can use it on your social media, on your website, you can talk, it gives you
Sometimes,
leg up, but at the same time, it does, you know, like it doesn't necessarily, you know, mean a whole lot. I guess it's like if you don't know, you don't know. And if you're just spying, looking for something and you see, oh, this guy's a label, it looks like they won something. You don't know
again,
necessarily
it give you
what
a
that
little, it
means.
give you more authority. But if the award is not recognized by a certain community, or the award itself has that authority, really, how much is giving you?
Not much. You know, when you are getting wins for like Allure and all the big names, you know, obviously those are fantastic and amazing, and you want to use that for your deck. Like, let's say you're a brand and you're looking to get funding and you want to look good to investors, or you want to get into more stores and you want to, you know, get picked up, you know, nationally in the retail chain, then obviously they want to see all these wins, and that's great. But the little ones where they're charging you all this money, I'd be leery about. It's not really worth it at the end of the day.
Yeah, and also there is a search of new communities and beauty communities that for a fee you get help. And the same with sales. I've been seeing also a lot of people saying, okay, you get a retainer of this, but you don't get a salesperson. You get like a program that you know how to do sales, and you get all these questions. There is a lot out there. That you believe that the price tag is more affordable, but at the end of the day, you're just, in my experience, wasting money away. Because you're not getting a real deal, or you don't getting to learn from someone who is a professional in that space.
Yeah, I think you really have to do your homework when you bring anyone on, because there's so many people coming at you when you open a business. If you're on LinkedIn, on social media, they find you and they are very convincing. You know, I can help you do this, that, and the other. I mean, the best way I could ever, you know, get is, you know, if I ever bring anyone on, it's like I have to know them personally. It's a very solid recommendation of a person that I've worked with for years who I trust. You know, when I started Beautyology, I was it's just funny. I'm never going to make a mistake. I'm going to do everything very methodically. I'm going to think out everything. I'm going to do it. I was like, I think I've made, I don't even know how many mistakes, but I don't even call them mistakes anymore. I just call them, you know, life lessons.
Yeah, I mean, and you learn as a go,
but you can't help it.
But also everything evolves. And one of the things that evolve is, like, for example, PR, we need to use PR. And as an agency, I need to use PR for backlinking and for SEO, which for me is really important.
Yeah.
But also the PR side, now you get retribution links. From Amazon, for example, you can get a link for those outlets who want to advertise you. They get a little commission from your sales. The same happen, you can do it from your website. And it's not an added thing that we can do now. It's a need that you have to offer it.
Yeah, you mean like, yeah. But yeah, and then again, that's something that I learned more about when I was, you know, creating Beautyology, is the need for all of these backlinks in SEO. It's so important. And so yeah, that's the other thing. I get a lot. I don't know if you do too with yours, but companies coming to me saying they want to add a blog to my site. If you link to this, I'll link to that. And it's like, because they're trying to,
yes, and I get
network.
I get it all the time, but it's a lot of work just to see how legit it is. Because in backlinking, we have something that is called toxic backlinks, and you don't want to have those. So you need to, it's really hard to control the narrative of where your content end up when you're doing those things.
Yeah, no, it's true. You don't know necessarily.
So backlinking PR is one of the healthiest way to get real and backlinking.
Yeah, no, it's true. That's why I think it's so important when I'm pitching clients and brands, and maybe it's not the biggest name in the world, but it's a legit site, and it's good for SEO and making sure that they have the right link, or their name is linked to their site, or their or their LinkedIn, or whatever it is, because it is important to have all of those things.
Like the other day, for example, someone contacted me that they want to have an Amazon shop only to be, and this was someone from the PR side that was talking to me that they want to create an Amazon shop, which has a cost for their client, so they can give a link to Amazon and a attribution link, so they get that percentage back. And I say, well, you know that Amazon is a whole different world. I can do that for you, but you're really going to be ruining your Amazon product reputation if you just put a shop for that reason.
Okay, I'm sorry, the publicist wanted to get.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know about that.
Yes, the publicist was pushing a client to open a shop in Amazon just to get a backlink. That to me is the wrong reason to open an Amazon shop. And that brings me back to the idea that whatever you do in PR, in marketing, in Amazon, whatever you do needs to be part of your business plan. This is a business at the end of the day. You can be super passionate about your product or your e-commerce or whatever, but you have to have a business plan.
Yeah, no, that sounds very fishy. I mean, Amazon is, for publishing, in terms of when we're talking about PR and pushing products, a lot of the publishing companies love Amazon. They want Amazon. So if you're not set up with an affiliate network, and if at least you have Amazon, you're okay, because a lot of them like Amazon, like first, or they get not only a percentage when somebody places an order, they get the whole cart. So let's say you read a story about some eye cream and you bought it, you clicked on it from whatever website, and then it went to Amazon, you bought it, and then you're said, oh, I need to get this, that, I need to, restock my socks, whatever it is. And then your cart is what, $200, you buy it. That company, the publishing company, gets a percentage on the whole shopping cart.
I didn't know that side.
Yeah, it's sneaky.
It's tricky, but that's how this world works.
I know.
But going back to PR, because to me, PR, and this is how I was from the part of marketing. I work in PR, but I work as a journalist, and I work in PR as part of a network. For me, always PR was about building connections.
Yeah. It is. I mean, it is. And it doesn't mean, but it does, at the end of the day, it still doesn't mean like if I have my best friend works at so-and-so magazine, I could just be like, can you please put this in? It doesn't mean they're going to do it.
No.
Yeah. So it's about connections, and it's, and just trying to keep up with that is a full-time job, because people are constantly moving and changing, and one goes from with this magazine, then she goes to this site, or she's changing jobs, or there's this person and that person, and people are getting cut, and things are happening more so now. I feel like it's so sad. Every time I feel like I wake up and I open my computer and I see this site shuttered, or this one is not, this one is closing, or this one just laid off 100 people, and now it's a really, really weird time right now. And so you can have the most amazing connections, and then they could be gone the next day from wherever they're working. And
yeah,
now they're
but at the same time, you keep building connections.
You keep building connections, yes. But like, I guess if you don't have that inside view and know what's going on through, in the industry, and really know these people, then yeah, you're gonna have a really hard time cutting through all of it.
Absolutely. Before we go, I have one question that always to me is very important. How do you maintain the integrity as a publicist?
Well, I think it's who, I guess you have to be. For me, I It's a hard thing, Laura. I mean, no, I mean, it's for me, it's like, I guess, because I'm so, I'm very passionate about what I do. And when I take on a client or I'm working with something, I give it everything I am. This is the way I am. I care too much, maybe. It's just my personality.
I'm the same way.
And
That's why.
so, I never, and honestly, I have to say, I'm not somebody that's just going to take a client because I want, the monthly retainer or whatever it is. If I can't truly help somebody, then I'm honest with them. And I always tell my clients, like, I'm very open. That's who I am. Like, if I can't get you anything, then if it's completely out of my comfort zone, then I don't take you on. And so I think that, like, it's hard because I let my clients, and I think that's why people like me, and that's why I've always had referrals, and I've never really had to go out and market myself as a publicist, because I am basically what you get. This is me. I'm not, selling you a bunch of bullshit. Like, if and I'm honest, and and I tell them it's hard. And so I let my clients know that this job is not easy. I don't want to lie and say I'm going to be able to get you this, that, and the other. But I'm
How
also the type that I can't sleep at night if I can't, perform. So,
how soon can you get results for a client?
um, I mean, it used to take a longer time because things were not all online. Now it's totally different. I mean, it could take months. It could take 12 hours. I can tell you that I just got a client, pitched a client for Newsweek, and it was up the next morning. Okay. It was that's the fastest. That's super fast. I've been pitching a product for 3 months, and I'm still waiting for something to happen. And there's no rhyme or reason. It doesn't mean I'm not working as hard on one client or the other. It's
Or
just,
the one product is better than the other.
yeah,
It
and it
comes
makes me
with
crazy.
it comes with the calendar of the publications. You never know what is in their editorial calendar or what they want to
I've
feature.
never, I think I don't know. I've always, like, a long time ago, I would always be like getting the editorial calendars every year, making
Yeah.
sure I knew what was going on. I don't even do that anymore, because you kind of just this month is this month, and this month is
Yeah.
that month, and this, we're going to talk about this in June, and we're going to talk about Mother's Day. It's like, it's ingrained in my head. I've done it for how many, I was a beauty editor, so I know exactly. I see the same stories how
Yeah,
many,
absolutely.
I wrote them all.
But at the same
They're all
time,
the
I
same.
think that everyone learn, I think that from which the inception of the internet, and then with COVID, we even learn more of going day by day and what is going on and the trends.
Yeah, it's so driven, like, and you just see, like, now it's all about Mother's Day, but it's also, it was an API month, so you're going to see a lot about Asian American, founders being promoted this month. Last month was Earth Month, so you just know that's what's going to be. That's what's going to be covered, but doesn't mean you can't do your homework and know and be prepared, and have an editorial calendar to go by, and use that as your compass for everything that you do, whether it's pitching, your marketing, your social media, your collaborations, all of the stuff.
So, so when people are trying to get a PR contract, what's the minimum time that you recommend someone to hire a publicist for?
Well, I think the norm is usually 6 months. I am a little more lenient because I want to, I think it's just because I want to make sure it's a good fit, because if I don't like the client, I don't want to be stuck in anything, to be honest. Because I've had those situations where it's just like, why did I take this on? It just makes my life harder than it is. I don't need that. So me personally, I just do 3 months, because also I And that's the other thing for me. I've always kind of worked with like a lot of brands that are smaller, indie startup, don't have huge budgets, and they want to try it. And so I get it. I've been there. I'm that person. I empathize with my clients, and so I try to make it, a little bit more palatable for them and me. And so I don't mind doing a 3-month thing to give it a shot and see how it goes, and then go month to month. I don't think you want to do less. You can't do less than 3 months
No,
because you
absolutely.
get anywhere.
Even with 3 months, it's hard to start.
It's hard. I'm not saying I'm doing myself any service, but like usually it's at least 6 months.
Yeah, I agree. Well, Robin, thank you so much for being here with me today and to clarify some myth out there that we see about PR and to also go over and to give us ideas and tips of how to identify those smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, you gotta know what to look for. So, but a lot of stuff to talk about on that. So I appreciate you having me on. Thank you.
And to you guys, we will see you next week with more Coffee Number 5.
Find everything you need at laraschmoisman.com or in the episode notes right below. Don't forget to subscribe.
It was so good to have you here today. See you next time. Catch you on the flip side. Ciao, ciao.